members and participants to the 24th Annual Convention of the Strategic Management Forum, hosted by Institute of Rural Management, Anand. Today, I, Rajeshwari, participant of the 4th batch of IRMA's executive program, the PGDM RMX, take great pleasure in welcoming you all to IRMA. It's a privilege to introduce and welcome our keynote speaker and all the dignitaries to the stage. Amidst a huge round of applause, let us invite the dignitaries on stage now. With immense pleasure, I invite our keynote speaker, Dr. S Sodhi, Managing Director, Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, GCMMF, to kindly come onto the stage. We welcome you, sir. I'm glad to invite Professor Bhimaraya Metri, SMF Chairperson and Director, IIM Nagpur, on stage. I cordially invite Professor Arun Sahay, SMF Secretary General and Dean of Research, BIMTECH, on stage. With equal pleasure, I invite Mr. Amit Mittal, DGM, Canara Bank, on stage. I now invite Dr. Umakant Dash, Director, IRMA, on stage. I also request Professor Pratik Modi, Convenor, SMF 2022 and Dean of Faculty, IRMA, to kindly join the dignitaries on stage. Lamp lighting is considered as the mark of an auspicious beginning. So I request our esteemed dignitaries on stage to begin the proceedings with the auspicious lighting of the lamp. Thank you so much for embarking on today's proceedings by kindling the auspicious lamp. Now, it's time to extend a warm and floral welcome to our dignitaries, along with a gesture of affection and reverence from IRMA. Firstly, I request Dr. Umakant Dash, Director, IRMA, to welcome Dr. S Sodhi. I now request Dr. Dash to welcome Professor Bhimaraya Metri. Requesting Dr. Dash to welcome Professor Arunaditya Sahay. Again, requesting Dr. Dash to welcome Mr. Amit Mittal. Thank you, sir. And now, requesting Professor Pratik Modi to welcome Dr. Umakant Dash. Thank you so much, sir. A true welcome is never complete without warm words. So, inviting Dr. Umakant Dash, Director IRMA, to accord a cordial welcome to our venerated guests and august gathering.
Dear Dr. Sodhi, MD GCMMF, Professor Metri, Director IRMA Nagpur, Dr. Sahay, Dean BIMTECH, Mr. Mittal, DGM Canara Bank, my colleague Pratik Modi, dignitaries of the dais, delegates, friends, members from the media, dear students of IRMA. On behalf of the entire IRMA community and on my personal behalf, I take great pleasure in welcoming you here to the inaugural ceremony of the 24th edition of SMF. At the outset, I sincerely thank the SMF, the forum that brings the professional from industry, academia, and public administration to propagate the concept of strategic management in India, to give us this opportunity to host the 24th edition of the SMF convention at IRMA. The past editions of SMF conventions were hosted by prominent institutions such as IIMs at Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Kozhikode, Lucknow, Trichy, Ranchi, Nagpur, and institutions like MDI, XLRI, among others. IRMA was set up in 1979 by Dr. Kurian, the father of White Revolution, the milkman of India, to professionalize the management of people's organization working in the rural sector. The unique institute, which completes 43 years, has been doing so ever since. It is a matter of pride for IRMA that its commitment to serving the underserved has manifested itself in nearly 4,000 professionals who are called as change makers across sectors who continue to realize the vision and dreams of better India. Over the years, IRMA has contributed immensely to the national and local policies, particularly in rural development, Panchayat Raj, and cooperatives, through consultations with ministries of the Government of India and other departments from the various states. I'm happy today that the convention with the theme of rebuilding organizations, strategic conversation for a post-pandemic world brought people from 75 odd universities and institutions world over to present 105 papers under 8 different tracks. My colleague, Professor Pratik Modi, the convener of the convention, would give an overall perspective of the conference later. I'm sure the conference will provide ample opportunity and space to discuss and deliberate the strategic issues which the organizations are facing, particularly in the post-pandemic era, which is highly volatile and full of uncertainties, where the managers are exposed to complex and ambiguous situations. Hope you have reached safely and had a comfortable stay here on the campus and hotels where you are staying. Our teams will make every effort to ensure the comfort during the 2 days. I wish the conference a grand success. I once again welcome you to IRMA and the 24th Annual Convention of the Strategic Management Forum. Let me end my note with a quotation of the American author historian Edward Hale. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Let us hope for the better future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for extending a cordial welcome to everyone. Now I invite Professor Arun Sahay to share a few words about the Strategic Management Forum.
Mr. Sodhi, my colleague, Dr. Metri, Dr. Umakant, Dr. Pratik, and our Mr. Gupta. IRMA has welcomed. Now let me welcome you, sir, once again on behalf of the Strategic Management Forum. And there could be no better strategist than you. And that we are lucky to have you with us. I would request you all to join your hands once again for IRMA, which is hosting so greatly. Thanks a lot to IRMA. You know, strategic management, way back in 1990s, at that time I was a corporate man, a CEO of a company. And Professor Krishna Kumar sitting here, he was in IIM Lucknow, he was thinking his own way. And your own Professor K.R.S. Murthy, who was director here, he was his guru, Krishna Kumar's. They were talking formation. I was talking from industry perspective, because there was an association of marketing management, there was association of materials management, there was nothing for strategic management. So I was thinking, we collided, he came to write a case on Scooters India Limited. And then we opened what we want, industry doesn't cooperate to education. So I said, whatever you want, whatever institute wants, you want my unions to give all rebukes, you take that, you can take interview of anybody you want my board's minute, it is open to you, to the conventions. So that's how our association began. And then somewhere we exchanged that we need to do, he had moved much ahead, but then 5 of us incorporated as a society strategic management forum in 1997. And since then, it was Professor Krishna Kumar's baby. I was in corporate world, had no time. Wherever he wanted my help, I was always at his beck and call. And today also I am at beck and call of Pratik, the convener. Whatever he says, we are trying to do. But this forum was created mainly to propagate to the second, third rung of educational institution who did not know. And in fact, some of the IIMs also were teaching marketing or finance in the name of strategy. That was the scenario. Professor K.R.S. Murthy was the first who probably converted, it used to be called business policy, from their strategic management, he was the first man to have. And we as practitioner, I didn't know much of theory, I learned from these gurus about strategic management, its theory, and lo and behold, after we created the association, we trained almost 2,000 faculty members in cooperation with AICT. We gave them certificate for proficiency in teaching strategic management. And most of them I am seeing here. There is a big community. And this forum was created mainly to join in the national effort, because universities, we went to various universities who were not knowing. There we really joined with their faculty. We tried to tell them, and that is how it propagated on and on and on. And Professor Krishna Kumar was leading it all. I was the back support. When they retired, we had, I mean, like any organization which has got up and down, we had rough patch also for 2 years. And then somehow we were thinking, I mean, societies, companies, what we learned in our colleges is supposed to run in perpetuity. Our board, we had a lot of discussion, wind up, what do they. Then I decided to step down. I demoted myself from chairman of the Strategic Management Forum, founder chairman of the forum, to the Secretary General to keep it going. Because organization is much bigger than anything. So a Strategic Management Forum was saved, and it was, a new life was injected into it by Professor Metri when he was director in IIM Trichinopalli. We are grateful to him. And you are all seeing what Professor Umakant Dash has done. He has taken it to the next level. I think more than 150 papers are there. So Professor Umakant Dash and Professor Pratik Modi, they have brought it to a new level. But I would say it is just a beginning. We have to really enlarge, and we have really to help, and we have to bring industry back to our fold. When we had started, we had both academia and industry. But over a period, somehow our connect slowly got loose. So here there are plenty of people from industry. My request and appeal to them is that please help us, please join us. It is a two-way traffic. It is beneficial to both of us, to the industry as well as academician. It's two-way traffic. So with these small words, because time is short and our chief guest has to move, I would once again thank you all, especially the delegates, because this conference is because of you, not for us. It is because of you, and a big applause for all who are attending the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. Amit Mittal, DGM, Canara Bank, to share a few words with us.
A warm morning to all the dignitaries sitting on the dais, delegate from IRMA, Strategic Management Forum, IIM, BIMTECH, GCMMF, student from media, and ladies and gentlemen present today. First of all, I would like to thank management of IRMA to giving this opportunity to introduce or present us ourselves in this forum, Strategic Management 2022. It is a great delight and pride to introduce Canara Bank, a nationalized bank which has been rendering focused, customer-centric and universal banking services across all spectrum of society. Canara Bank is a leader public sector bank in India with a distinct track record in the service of the nation over 116 years. Our founder was Shri Ambelal Subbarao Pai Sahab, who has started this Canara Bank from Mangalore, a small town from Karnataka state, in 1906. Currently, we are the third largest public sector bank in India with presence of more than 9,700 branches and 3 overseas offices and branches, plus 12,200 ATMs across the country and union territories. Under Ahmedabad Circle, we have a 5 regional offices: Gandhinagar, Ahmedabad, Rajkot, Baroda, and Surat. There are 237 branches and offices in the state of Gujarat, Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu, covering all districts and blocks. We are happy to inform that presently our balance sheet size is 19.88 lakh crore global business as on 17 December 2022. And we have an aim to surpass the figure of 20 lakh crore business before 31st December 2022. Our bank was pioneer in education loan. We were the first banking institute of the country to introduce the education loan. Based on our bank education loan policy, Government of India formulated education loan policy for all the banks. As on September 2022, our market share under education loan amongst all scheduled commercial bank was 28.8% pan-India. And if we talk about IRMA, in current academic session, we have sanctioned education loan approx 28 crores with the market share more than 90%. Our Canara Vidya education loan scheme is best in industry, offering collateral-free education loan sanction facility up to 50 lakh. For students pursuing higher study in pioneer institute like IRMA, IIT, IIM, NITs and other selected institutes in India, the best part of the loan is anyone can avail the loan facility from any of branch across the country. The loan documentation can be hassle-free anywhere across the country, either physical or digital mode. To make documentation further hassle-free, co-borrower can join the loan within the time frame of 6 months from the date of availment. A student can also apply online through Vidya Lakshmi portal. On technology front, we have recently launched our brand new banking super app named as All-in-One, having 250 features to take your banking experience to next level. Can I have a video of this clip, if possible? Achha, yeah. Okay. So it is a proud moment for me to share at this forum that we have received the prestigious the Bankers Bank of the Year Award 2022 for the India segment at Global Banking Samiti, which was held in recently London on 1st December 2022. We always assure you to deliver the best banking services across the country. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. I now Bhimaraya Metri, SMF Chairperson and Director, IIM Nagpur, presents this momentous occasion.
And Professor Krishna Kumar, one of the founding pillar of SMF, and young emerging SMF leader, Professor Srinivas, Professor Ashutosh Sinhaji from IIM Lucknow, all the distinguished participant, invited guest, media friends, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a proud privilege to be part of SMF 2022, which is happening here at Anand. All of you know that Anand is a different meaning in India, in Indian tradition. So great place, great city and great state, this conference is happening. And as all of you know that Professor S Sahay rightly said, since 1997, SMF is doing novel service for the academic fraternity, how to prepare the strategic department and the professors to teach strategy, which was not exist earlier. And Professor KRS Murthy, Professor A. Sai, Professor Krishna Kumar, all these people played a very, very significant role to build this great organization. And earlier, this annual meet used to happen only amongst the IIM. Now we decided it should go to all the great institutions in the country, and that is how this is in Institute of Rural Management, Anand, it is happening. And under the dynamic leadership of Professor Umakant Dash and conference chair, Dr. Pratik Modi. I think they have done a great job. So I think we all should give a big round for their contributions. And as Professor Sahay rightly said, this particular area, strategy, is going to play a very, very significant role. And today, if you see in business school, whether it is HR, whether it is marketing, whether it is operations, information system, you take any area, every area, they teach a course on strategy, operation strategy, marketing strategy, HR strategy. So strategy has now entered into all areas. And that is the lifeblood of most of the businesses. And that is where this forum is going to play a very, very significant role in coming years, because coming years are very, very dynamic. Earlier people used to call it as a VUCA world, but today, the better word to coin instead of VUCA is, it is a phygital world, physical plus digital. So in this phygital world or fluid world, disruptions are happening, contexts are changing, and every context demands new strategy. And every context demands a skilling, reskilling, upskilling. Every context demands learning, new learning, and the most important one is unlearning. So that is where the disruptions are basically promoting a new kind of strategies. What strategy worked yesterday, it is not going to work tomorrow, and it is not going to work day after tomorrow. So that is where in this dynamic world, uncertain world, it is extremely important how to learn quickly, how to unlearn quickly, and how to get into a new strategy. And all the business school all over the world earlier used to focus on, somebody may be interested to join, say for example, Bharat Electronics Limited, Bangalore. So they used to focus accordingly, manufacturing, like Maruti or electronics. But now the time has come, you don't know when you graduate engineering and 2-year management what new is going to come. So that is where 3 years down the line, many existing things are going to disappear and many new things are going to come. So in this kind of dynamic world, we all have to prepare a change master who can lead the unknown roles in unborn companies. And for that purpose, this forum is going to play a very, very important role to understand the trend. What are the new trends? How the world is moving, in which direction it is moving, and how robots are going to play a new role, how IoT, AI is going to change the behavior of the human being. All of you know that IoT or AI came in 1956 in one of the conference hall, and after 50 years, 2000 onwards, it is now part and parcel of everybody's life, AI. Similarly, IoT has come few years back. Now using AI and young people like IRMA students, so AI, IoT together, you get into IOA, Internet of Ability, and that will change your behavior, that is Internet of Behavior. So that is why IoT to IOA to IOB, so these are the new things are coming every time, every way. So that is where it is extremely important how to always remain dynamic. Strategy is also fluid strategy. You can't afford to have strategy for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, which used to be there when we were studying, probably your time. It is a very, very dynamic strategy, and the life is very short. And similarly, skill life is again, skill has its own life, and that is where the strategy also has its own life, and that is where we have to get into, move on one strategy to second to third, and that is where this SMF is going to play a very, very significant role. I am sure the live example today, if you look at the Anand and the entire revolution happened here, the Amul product, and Dr. S Sodhi Saab is here. I think he was addressing once in ISP. So every year, how to give better price to the farmers. So that is what, what is your vision? Somebody was asking, he said, well, my vision is only one and it is not going to change. How to provide better price to the farmers. And even though everything else may change, but my vision will remain same. That is what I think in Hyderabad ISB a few years back he was speaking. So that is where it is extremely important how we have to change to meet that vision. And there are many examples in India. The vision is same, but every time to meet the vision, we have to continuously changing, continuously updating. And that is where how to remain relevant in this changing world. And for that purpose, one important thing what I got is, people say that all leaders are the readers. Of course, one may say that all readers are the leader. That is not true. But all leaders are definitely a readers. And that is where reading is important. And that will give you a holistic perspective. And that is where NEP 2020 New Education is all talking about multidisciplinary, holistic education. And that is where in such circumstances, this particular forum is going to play a very, very important role. Once again, I welcome all the participants and leading authors for this conference, panel members for participating SMF 2022. The topic is very contemporary, very relevant. I'm sure this conference beginning today until this conference duration, I am sure a lot of insights, lot of new learning is going to happen. Once again, I wish a grand success of this SMF 2022 here at IRMA, Anand. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. It's time to hear our keynote speaker now. With great pleasure, I now invite Dr. S Sodhi, sir, to share his insights.
Namaskar, good morning. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Professor Sahay ji, Dr. Umakant Dash ji, Professor Metri ji, Shri Amit Mittal ji, and Professor Pratik Modi ji, all the dignitaries of the dais, the wizards of the strategic management, all the participants of this forum and the convention. I see a lot of students also very enthusiastically sitting here. Some people are fully covered their face. I don't know why they have come here. And all the press who have come here. First of all, I'd like to thank the Strategic Management Forum of India for inviting me to share our thought on this very thought-provoking subject. When Professor Pratik Modi and Professor Pandey came to meet me to invite me, because before that, Dr. Umakant Dash called me, they are coming to invite for some convention. So when they came and I said, what is that? They said Strategic Management Forum. And you have to deliver keynote address. I said, who are the audience? They said, all the experts, the directors of IIM, all the academician, industry, the best of the strategic people. I said, why you come to me for, last 42 years, I know only दूध कैसे लेते हैं, कैसे बेचते हैं, उसमें strategy क्या है? But then I asked Professor Pandey, okay, अब आपको पता है हम क्या करते हैं, you tell me इसमें से क्या बोलो जो आपको लगे कि ये strategy है. So they gave me few hints, and very good. Later on I realized a very good thing. So first of all, I'd like to thank the Strategic Management Forum that holding this convention here at Anand, which is not without any doubt a place for originating or giving birth to the ageless and evergreen strategies, which have been relevant for the last, you can say last 75, 80 years. Because strategy, if is not going to be relevant after a few years or few decades, that cannot be defined as strategy. That is a small change which you are proposing. And just sitting here and then thinking, because I'm going to talk about only milk or my journey. So because मुझे जब उन्होंने जब invite किया, immediately to my mind strategic management हमारा, I could recollect only a cover page of my strategic management book when I was in IRMA 42 years back, blue color था. तो but definitely whatever I must have read, course clear किया होगा तभी degree मिली होगी. So must be a back of my mind. So कुछ होगा. So then I realized, you see, yesterday I was fortunate to visit a small village, Ajarpura. That is the birthplace of Amul, the first village cooperative society, which was registered 75 years ago. They were having yesterday 75th years of Sthapna Divas. And that is a place where the strategy was conceived and conveyed in 1965. So kitne 35 or 57 years back, then the Indian Prime Minister Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri, because he stayed in Ajarpura village and he saw the prosperity of farmers. He saw how they are independent, how women are feeling empowered. He stayed unannounced in a farmer's house, and that night he must have thought, and morning he called Dr. Varghese Kurian, the founder of IRMA institution, that what you have done in this part of India, Anand, which has made people so prosperous and self-reliant, and the income has increased, and whatever Amul structure, 3-tier structure you have created, and farmers are happy. India is not Atmanirbhar in milk. We are dependent on imports. So, and there's a question of livelihood in the villages of India. So that time he said, why not replicate this strategy or whatever you have done in Anand all over India? So the strategy to build national dairy development was conceived. And Operation Flood, White Elevation, all came out of that. Just, so what I'm saying is idea of a strategy change or whatever is came from the basic need at the ground level. He saw it, then he thought what can be done, and then whole strategy, and Dr. Kurian and Professor Michael Halls from IIM Ahmedabad, they've made a whole Operation Flood White Revolution strategy, and what we see is today, the results, what in, 74 basically when Operation Flood was rolled out, and India's milk production was 1/3 of USA or 1/8 of Europe. Per capita availability is only 110, producing only 24. And within 25 years, we become number 1. And milk production multiplied by 3 times. So every 25 years, we should see milk production has multiplied by 3 times, 3x. And in spite of population multiplied by 2x, our per capita also availability increased by 2x every 25 years. So what we were in mid-70s, 1/3 of USA, we are more than double than the USA today, more than 30% more than the whole of Europe. And per capita availability has multiplied 4x, and it's growing. Today we are contributing to the 23% of world milk production, and in mid-70s we were only 16%. The way we are growing, another 25 years, 2047, when Bharat ki Shatabdi 100 years ki hogi, we will be contributing 45% of world milk production. Why I'm telling you is, the one strategy, basic strategy, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel gave in 1946 to the farmers of this Atirbandas Patel, ki if you have to earn more, you should not give to the private contractor, you should form a cooperative society or structure where you not only produce milk, you should aggregate, process and market yourself. Owning whole supply chain was the basic strategy. What I am saying is ageless strategy. That strategy is becoming more and more relevant today. In farm produce, if producer has to get good price and consumer also has to get the food at a very reasonable price, it is going to be better. Supply chain is owned by the producer, not the middleman. And whichever countries it has not happened, they are suffering. And why India is growing? Because today farmer of India is getting around 70 to 80% what you pay in the villages, vis-a-vis Europe or USA where farmers get only 1/3. And because supply chain is owned by the farmers or producer, and by adoption of the latest technology and the management structures, reason for success of India in the world, if one reason or one strategy which has made us the leader in dairy industry is the very efficient supply chain management. From 1 rupee you pay, 70 or 80% goes to the farmer. So farmer is happy. He is satisfied. She is investing more. She is producing more. And the other side, consumer is also very satisfied, getting very good product, pure product at very affordable price. So he is consuming more, farmers are producing more, so India is growing per cap. Every 25 years, our production is multiplying by 3x. Nowhere else you will find. Today milk is going around 10 lakh crore industry per annum, biggest industry. Then, so basic strategy is same, owning, and in that business objectives, what I was, Professor Bajaj was asking me, I mean, what is the reasons, change, management, this, that, very relevantly. See, but what I said is, any industry, any business, when you found it, when you are forming it, when birth is given, some basic objectives or business objectives are formed, or goals are formed. In case of Indian cooperative or milk industry, Amul, what were the basic objectives? Value for many, value for money. Value for many, giving very stable and remunerative price to the millions of milk farm producer day after day. So they are encouraged to produce. The other side, the supply chain, giving best product by using the best technology, packaging, using best ingredients at a very affordable price. So whatever Amul today has done or any other thing, we have become India's biggest FMCG or food company with 61,000 crore rupees turnover yesterday, growing, ageless. Our market share in each product category growing. The CAGR or growth rate of our Amul of every decade is higher than the previous. It is basically adhering to this strategy. Value for many, value for money. Not changing. And that has given us the dividend. And to achieve that basic objective, the basic goals, the basic strategies for which organization, time, if I look back last, because I am with the Amul for the last more than 40 years. 41 years हो जाएंगे. IRMA से पास हुए थे March 1982 में. So first job. So thank you. There have been number of, I think, briefly I can tell you is, the one strategy which has really worked very well for us is the Amul, or the name of our organization is Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation. It's the apex body, and we have got below us 18 district union, and below that there are 18,600 societies. Each tier has got its job. Society has to collect the milk based on electronically testing and payment. District union has to process, pack under Amul brand name, and state federation is to market it, and then providing lot of other help. So what we realized is our milk procurement is increasing, okay, from Gujarat, and we were marketing our all dairy products all over India, butter, cheese, milk powder, baby food, etc., etc. And we were selling, the district union was selling liquid milk by that time in packed pouches within Gujarat. But the rate at which our milk procurement was growing, our commodity share, because surplus milk was converted into commodity, skim milk powder and white butter was increasing day by day. And we were becoming dependent more and more on commodity buyers. And in agriculture produce, if you start becoming more dependent on commodity market or sale, you become more vulnerable. So we were selling to all the city milk sellers like Mother Dairy Delhi, Calcutta or Mahanandan, Bombay, all big. And naturally, when you are dependent on them, they also buyer, they'll see when the commodity price are lower, when they don't get into what is the cost of production of milk with you or what price you are making. So that time we realized every time we have to sit outside their office to get the payment, collect the payment or negotiate the payment. Earlier, Dr. Varghese Korean was there till late 90s, so he was both the organization chairman. So we were very reasonably decision we were price getting. And then we realized it, I mean, why to, I mean, we are selling commodity, they are converting into milk selling in Delhi or other thing. So in 2003, we decided we'll market milk in Delhi instead of selling commodity. And that one strategy totally changed this. I mean, within 6 years, we became the number one marketer of milk in the number one brand in Delhi. And then learning of that paid us in other cities, Calcutta, Bombay, Kanpur, Lucknow, Pune, all cities we became number. And what happened when we went outside Delhi and sourcing milk from Gujarat, by 2010 we realized हमारे पास तो shortage होने लग गई because market increased. And in 2003 one more compulsion came on us that Britannia also entered in liquid milk marketing. They launched milk in Delhi, Bombay, Coimbatore, Calcutta. At that time we realized, I mean, if we don't compete now, we'll be supplying tomorrow commodity to Britannia also. So, by 2010, increased marketing, Gujarat could not meet the liquid milk requirement. And that time one major strategic decision was taken. I mean, I'm talking very major. Because till now our basic mandate was, we have to buy milk from Gujarat farmers through 18 district union. But when your market is increasing, packed milk market is increasing, products are increasing, and you want to become the market leader, you have to, they are sourcing from outside Gujarat. So we decided we'll go outside Gujarat to procure milk. But we'll follow the same structure. So all these few of the big district union are given some geographical area outside Gujarat to procure milk, forming same type of collection center, directly for farmers, same technology, everything, same type of payment and other inputs. But legally they can't be the members because we are registered under Gujarat's Cooperative Act, so naturally only Gujarat farmers can be. But that really worked. Today we are getting around 17% of our milk from outside Gujarat. So imagine agar hamare ne about 56 lakh litre today from outside Gujarat. And we may be the number one milk procurement agency in Maharashtra, West Bengal, and some other states. Or number two in other. So it would have impacted our growth and the way we have been growing. So these three changes have really worked. And then we realized that the way consumption of packed food or dairy products is growing, we have to see that our market leadership is maintained. So other strategies which we worked is we call it 3E strategy. That also sometime 2013-14. 3E strategies basically we call it expansion, expansion and expansion. Because expansion in milk procurement, expansion in milk processing and expansion in our distribution retail. Because you can't get raw material as your wish. If you want, so and setting up procurement system takes at least years. आज आपको कल 10 लाख लीटर चाहिए, you can't say कि I'll get it. No, you have to work at least 1 year, 2 years before to get 10 lakh liters in one area after 1 or 2 years today. Same is milk processing. आपने procure कर लिया, you need to process it. You can't keep it. And you have to keep in mind, you have to have processing capacity to the peak of the milk procurement. Similarly, distribution. We operate 4 types of distribution highways. Ambient product which everybody operates, chilled product, butter, cheese, frozen ice cream, and the most difficult but very consistent, very dependable is fresh product. Doodh, dahi, chaach. 365 days, good sale and maximum returns. But there you have to pack, process and distribute in the local area within 3-4 hours, and it is always better to source milk from the nearby areas. So that strategy really worked, depending more and more on fresh product. Today our 60% sales come from fresh product, whereas 2003 it was nil. So you can imagine how business has been from 0 to 60% of our turnover, 61,000 is from milk, fresh, from 0. I'm not saying 0 because in Ahmedabad we started 86, so some part was there. So expansion in procurement, processing, distribution. I mean, we have got a distribution, I mean today, if you see till 2012-13, we had only 46 depots of branches all over India and few thousand distributors. Especially during COVID also, what we think is the expansion in our distribution. So opening more depots or branches or with the warehouses. Today we have got 95. And then when you open your branch or hub anywhere with the all 4 types of warehousing facilities and storage facilities, naturally you have to appoint distributors and retailer. Today we have got more than 10,000 distributor and more than 1 million retailer. Last 6-7 years we have one mandate which we have given to our salespeople. Every 10,000 population should have Amul distributor. Or now in some places we said up to 5,000. I think reaching to these smaller places has really given us good dividend. And only just 2 days back I was reviewing this, whereas the growth this year has been for the smaller cities, 1 lakh, less than 1 lakh, is around 32%. In case of 1 lakh to 5 lakh, our growth is 17 to 18%. Metro cities 8 or 9%. So shift has taken place or happening more in these smaller places from the loose and unpacked to the branded. And they can also afford. Only thing is the size of pack size is small. So this strategy of going to 10K town has really given us very good results as far as distribution is concerned. Since this, you are talking about rebuilding organization or post-COVID, whatever is the thing. I think COVID was the one period which has given us, besides a lot of challenges, lot of, complexities, lot of learnings and opportunities also. I realized when on 24th of March, Honorable Prime Minister declared that lockdown and everything was closed. And we were prepared in the beginning only, because other places was happening. And somehow we had little bit more experience of handling lockdowns or basically curfew. Because Gujarat, fortunately or unfortunately, lot of curfews till 90s. And I was posted in Ahmedabad. I remember during the curfew for months together when Ahmedabad was closed, especially the eastern side, what strategies to take. So we were all mind. So we were well prepared. But one strategy which we used during COVID or lockdown was, in one word, is communication. So we started communicating with the farmers that, look here, don't get panic. Your milk will be procured and you'll be getting good price. So we'll ensure. And also communicating what precautions to be taken during COVID while coming for milk or milking cows, etc. Communication to our district union and processing union and their workers that yours is an essential service. Rest assured you will be given all the facility, but you cannot work from home. Because your cows or buffalo or not under lockdown, उनको तो सुबह शाम दूध देना ही देना है. And farmers' livelihood depend on that. अगर आप दूध procure नहीं करोगे, कहाँ से वो खरीदेंगे? Same is communicating with our supply chain partner, our transporter, our distributor, our retailers. You look here, you'll get the milk. And same is all the marketing and sales people. So that really worked. And then communicating with the local authorities, because you need lot of passes, exemptions. In सबके काम करने वालों की है. A vehicle has to go to milk tanker has to go to Goa or Bombay or Calcutta. बीच में 50 जगह उसको रोकेंगे. So what to do then? Talking to the collectors, talking to the IGs, but I think everybody helped it. Only thing one has to communicate. Only we didn't stop communicating to these people, farmers or processors or whatever. We thought this is the best time to communicate with the consumers. So when everybody stopped mass media communicating the consumers, we found this is the best time. So we increased our advertising budget by 2x. Because अब आपको अगर जिस एरिया में आप रहते हैं, अगर पता चले कि यहाँ की जो जमीन की कीमत या फ्लैट की कीमत आधी हो गई है, तो क्या करोगे आप? Whatever saving you like to invest, क्योंकि ठीक है आज गिरी है कल तो बढ़ेगी. So we thought this is the best time to build brand. First thing is we increased the budget. Second, we got 1+2, 1+3 deals from the media, चाहे TV commercial हो, चाहे press हो, चाहे, because nobody else was advertising, thinking कि अभी तो कोई खरीद नहीं रहा, lockdown में क्यों होता है? But we realized brand building is not a sales. Brand goes into my, and we got very good rates, very good deals, and very good attention of our consumer. Whole family sitting before the TV and watching, and that really paid us a lot, because Amul was produced, Amul was available, and Amul was visible. So I think any such situation, what we have realized that COVID or other thing, this is the best. Any problem, any challenges, one strategy has to be what can be good in that. So this is what is one thing. Okay, a lot of, especially when you become big, a lot of people advise how you are changing. A lot of people give their advice. I'm not saying we are changing. What Amul is today, if you look back 25 years, 30 years, I mean, firstly, like adoption of digital technology is right from farmers to the consumer level. Itna aapka human being mein, you may not be using a technology, this is what we are using. I mean, people come see, because see, digital or adoption of technology in your whole operation, where masses are involved, both sides, it is more relevant, it is giving more speed, efficiency and transparency, which is, and digital technology brings all these things. I mean, like providing veterinary service, if you are, we have got app where if farmer, aapki gaay bhains bimar, aapko just app pe enter karna, automatically message will go to that concerned veterinary doctor, within 2 hours it will come. Or if your cow, we have got feet bend, neck bend, cows are buffalo, based on her physical activity, you can detect whether she is going to come in heat and needs AI. AI is also very interesting. थोड़ा एनेक्डोट बता देते हैं, मजे की बात, काफी सीरियस. प्रोफेसर मैथ्यू, देखिए, AI is going to become a very very important and thing. पर मेरा थोड़ा जो बिगनिंग AI के साथ थोड़ी सी जैसे अलग टाइप की हुई. Similarly, I got an invitation of CIA Bombay कि you have to come and we are got having AI convention, so you please come and speak. तो मेरे बंदे ने बोला, मैंने कहा अच्छा यही तो ठीक है, बोल देंगे, हम तो अच्छा करते ही हैं. तो हम पहुंच गए, तो जैसे ऐसे स्टेज पे बैठे थे, लोगों ने बोलना शुरू कर दिया, ये तो वो AI नहीं जो मैं यही सोच गया. So but then तो आपको you see, आप पिछले 40-42 साल से एक ही चीज करते आ रहे, तो हम, but you ask anything, you ask me to speak on anything, I'll speak, पर घूम फिर के हम दूध पे आ जाएंगे. Because you are talking to the human being, And any human being can relate to the milk. So AI, milk, farmer, then हमको जब टाइम है हमने बोला कैसे AI is being used for AI in India, Gujarat. So I was saying change management is required with the new technology, digitalization, and what Amul is today, the first change which Dr. Varghese Kun and Mr. Dalayat in making milk powder cheese out of buffalo milk. Or this whole the structure of Amul 3 Trust is a big thing. But let me tell you, with the time, with the technology, with the environment, with the such type of catastrophic thing, COVID, you have to change. But you cannot deviate from the basic business goals or objectives of the organization. I'll give you an example. Because a lot of people tell me today Amul is 61,000, आप उसके ऊपर आ जाओ, क्या shares float करो, आपके farmers को इंगा. I tell you what happened a few years back. It's a very good case study. I think all professors should do it. Like Amul is in India, there was a cooperative in Australia, Murray Gorbin. Very good. Jose Fonterra, doing very well and very good growth. And naturally when you want to grow and growing very good, so they got a very accomplished and dynamic CEO with the background from the working in the multinationals. Very accomplished. And naturally, everybody wants to do something new strategies. Naya strategy kuch karna hai. So then he realized that we can earn such $1 billion from the market, farmers can get this much rich if 50% is offloaded their shareholding. And they did it. Offloaded their shares to the private investors. Like we get a lot of such advice. And within few years they closed down. Because diagonally opposite objectives. Investor want more money for his he wants to buy milk at the lowest, sell your commodity finished product highest, keeping maximum EBITDA. In a cooperative like ours, objective is to buy raw material at a maximum, sell at a reasonable price, because whatever raw material is offered, you have to buy it. You can't decide buying raw material based on the market. And then naturally once you have purchased, you have to sell it also. And end of the day, like my performance is measured, how much minimum EBITDA I have kept. The minimum gross profit. So naturally, to meet the requirement of shareholders, they kept on reducing the price to the farmers so that they can earn more. And naturally, farmers started going away. And then in the end, they have to wound up and they have to sell their cooperative to one more company of Canada, Subuto. So this is a clear example. Change is required. Everything is good, strategy is good, but it should not deviate from your basic objective. So I think that way we are lucky in India, right? Not only Amul, the government of India has been also working on this. They have never changed their strategy for development of dairy sector in India. They say we have to encourage local production. They have never brought down to the pressures of free imports, FTA, this. I mean, a lot of things come. And that is why what India is today. And in case of agriculture produce or any agriculture thing, you can't make short-term 3-year, 4-year, 5-year strategy. It has to be 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Then only you get the results. And I get a lot of, when people call the big people that, okay, UK wants to come, Australia, they are giving this, why don't allow some imports from these countries of dairy products? I said, imports are allowed. And our duties are less than 1/3 of what these countries put on our dairy products. But before we allow coming also dairy products from Europe, UK, everywhere. But they don't allow even after paying duty from India. Pehle wo to allow karo. Second is, if any strategy is working well, what is that strategy is? Local production. And whole world is watching. Why you want to change this strategy? Just for the sake of changing strategy. So because you are the experts and strategy is good, and whole business to depend on strategy, but you have to see what tinkering one should be doing with this strategy, whether strategy, what tinkering you are suggesting is going to be relevant after a few years or not, and whether it is deviating from the basic objectives or not, and especially if any organization, if you are not sick, you are whether you need such type of medication or not, you have to think. So with this, I thank all the participants of this strategic management forum, and I wish all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your great knowledge and influential words with us. Moving on, we are indeed honored that the book titled Beyond the Beaten Path by Professor Gagan Katyar and Professor Arunaditya Sahay will be launched today on this auspicious occasion of inauguration of SMF 2022. I request all our dignitaries to kindly unveil the book. Thank you. Now, we are about to witness a very special moment. And to brief us about it, I now invite Professor Pratik Modi to the dais.
Thank you so very much. I would like to invite Professor Sahay here on the mic and announce the Lifetime Achievement Award of SMF. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratik. But before I announce the Lifetime Achievement Award, I'm tempted to say 2-3 words. कोहली साहब, लोग तो दूध से मक्खन और घी निकालते हैं, आपने तो दूध से स्ट्रैटेजी निकाल दिया. And to share with you, I mean, हम किताब में कितने पढ़ लें, कितना कर लें, what he told from practice. Value for many, value for money. Right? So these are all strategic things. It starts with vision. 3 E's, 3 strategies. So beginning to end, I was observing everywhere ये मंथन कर रहे थे और strategy बाहर. Now it's my proud privilege to announce the Lifetime Achievement Award. Last year it went to Professor K.R.S. Murthy, who again belonged to IRMA. He was director. This year's awardee, before announcing, I must tell that it's a process. Everybody is free to nominate. We had 3 nominations and the committee had due deliberation. And on behalf of the award committee of SMF, I'm delighted to announce that this year's award goes to Professor Krishna Kumar. And before we invite him to the dais, I will take a minute just to read the citation. Professor Krishna Kumar was born in 1946 in Lucknow, the city of Nawabs, where he went to various schools and graduated from Lucknow University. Thereafter, He went to University of Roorkee, from where he graduated in electrical engineering in 1969. He had a go with cost accounting, having done intermediate in cost accounting from ICWA in 1974. He became fellow in management, which is equivalent to PhD, in 1979 from Indian Institute of Management, his guide being no other than Professor K.R.S. Murthy, the eminent strategist scholar. Having started his career in industry with Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited in 1970, his quest for knowledge motivated him back to school to learn and research at IIM Ahmedabad. After acquiring FPM degree, he came to IIM. First he joined Bank of Baroda. Again he was in this vicinity only, in the training and teaching fraternity. And from there he moved to IIM Lucknow as professor and dean. Later in 2004, he became the director in IIM Kozhikode, where he has left his stamp on every aspect of the institute, every brick of the buildings, the grass, the flowers. They call, I belong to Krishna Kumar. He is the founder, he is one of the founders of a strategic management forum that was founded in 1997. This has since then maintained the virtual character, working for the attainment of the discipline in management in general and in strategic management in particular. Our objective has been, of course, to create a fraternity of strategic management, to conduct research, to start a journal. Some of the things we have been able to achieve, some we have yet to, with his guidance we shall. Post-retirement, as senior citizen, he is very active in training and teaching through web application, which is backed by numerous cases developed by him, which is dissipated through music, through media, through dance. He also started a dhaba. He is not only a teacher, trainer, author, administrator, institution builder, change agent, but has become a musician and most importantly, a benevolent human being. During COVID, he set up a low-cost oxygen generating plant with cylinder filling capability for small hospitals that has helped in saving many lives. Strategic Management Forum feels honored to bestow on him the Lifetime Achievement Award. Professor Krishna Kumar, may we invite you to the dais. Kohli sir, we would request you to come forward and honor him with this.
We extend a hearty congratulations, sir, for your significant and sustained contribution to SMF. Thank you so much. We are about to mark the end of the ceremony now. And before that, I would like to invite Professor Pratik Modi to explain the convention in perspective and also to propose vote of thanks.
Good morning. Dr. S Sodhi, Chief Guest of the function and Managing Director of GCMMF, we know as Amul. Dr. Bhimaraya Metri, Chairperson of SMF and Director of IRMA Nagpur. Professor Arun Sahay, Secretary General of SMF and Dean Research, BIMTECH. Our guest, Mr. Amit Mittal, DGM Canara Bank, who's our main sponsor and banking partner of this event. Dr. Umakant Dash, Patron of 24th SMF Convention and Director of IRMA, invited guests, member of IRMA faculty, member of the press, convention delegates, doctoral scholars, and my dear students. I am grateful to the SMF Chairperson and Secretary General for giving IRMA this opportunity to host the convention. I am particularly thankful to Dr. Umakant Dash, my director, for entrusting me with this responsibility of being the convener and providing me necessary support and guidance in arranging this convention throughout. The SMF board was always available to help, motivate, and show me the way. I owe a big thanks to them. I'm also grateful to the universities and institutions that have facilitated your participation in this event. The pandemic has shown us how external forces impact organizations, which require resilience in the wake of lockdown disruptions. However, organizations are now building on it for the post-pandemic resurgence. This year's theme is Rebuilding Organization, Strategic Conversations for Post-Pandemic World. As nation organizations, citizens recover from the pandemic disruption, greater attention and focus is being paid to the question of resilience and more so now on resurgence. Strategic conversations and dialogues on better managing the interface between Samaj, communities, Bazaar, market, and Sarkar, the government, are key to better future. Our research tracks addresses some of these topics. They are testimony to the diversity and multidisciplinarity of the field of strategic management. I am sure that the deliberations at this convention will generate new research ideas and consolidate the existing body of knowledge to influence the practice and learn from the practice at the same time. I wish all the participants fruitful academic conversations. Finally, I am standing here on behalf of my team of colleagues and staff who worked hard to process 105 papers which are getting presented, making arrangement for 150 plus delegates from more than 75 universities and institutions world over. This event wouldn't have been possible without their sweat and toil. I express my sincere gratitude towards them. A big thank you to all of you, and I rest here. I now invite all the participants to kindly participate in all the plenary session as well as research tracks and have a wonderful conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. This brings us to the end of the inaugural ceremony of the 24th Annual Convention of the Strategic Management Forum. Once again, I would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to everyone for bringing this inaugural ceremony a success. And now we will break for a high tea. High tea for the dignitaries, delegates, and the press will be served beside the auditorium, and for the participants, it will be served near the library. Before that, I request the dignitaries to kindly gather for a photo shoot near the chimes outside the auditorium, and the audience is requested to join us back at sharp 12 p.m. for the CXO discussion on resilience to resurgence, the post-pandemic strategy. So here we are marking the end of the ceremony, and once again would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to everyone. Thank you so much. I request mic off. Mic. A kind request to everyone. I request all of you to join us for the photo shoot at Chimes just beside the auditorium.